Okay, hi. I'm Astro. Welcome to Poncast Part 2. And we got Puffer, the other host.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hi.
And we
I'm
have
here.
a special guest that if you somehow did not already read the screen, it's Sage. Hi, Sage.
I'm a special guest. What?
No, not really, but we're
Yeah.
gonna call you that for this episode. So,
All right, cool.
spoiler alert: if you've for some reason lived under a rock and haven't kept up to date with Pon, or you're an outsider of Pon, someone who's either not allowed or just spying on us from our social media. Hi, we know you exist. But Sage won the head admin election. You didn't know that because we skipped the last podcast because we didn't have much topics to talk about. So yeah. So it's not going to be every Wednesday, apparently. It's just going to be when we have enough information for a Wednesday. Okay. So yeah. Puffer, what's our first topic today?
Let me check. So, worker appreciation.
Bro, have I told you, like, because we have a lot more workers now since the last podcast, and it's so amazing. One of them are here right now. Hi, Mail.
I'm
Newly
Neil.
founded moderator, one of our most wonderful moderators. And I mean, it would not be so easy to be going about how we hired these moderators, how we trained them, how we looked at them, if it wasn't thanks to our great head administrator, Sage. Hi, Sage.
Yeah, hi.
And we have a lot of new helpers.
A ton.
A ton. I'm gonna actually go and find the list so that I don't try to name names and then get it wrong because that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do.
We have Mindy, we have Stanky, we have Alex, we have KK, we have Mail, we have Viper, and we have Conlover 420. So a lot of great people. There were some other people, but they're not here no more. Sadly, if you want to say sadly, it's how you see it. But no, we have a lot of great workers, and I think our helpers are getting more into the. Well, because I mean, we've hired a lot of helpers, so we have a lot of helpers here who are now able to, get to the rents when there's someone there, tickets, etc. And spoiler alert, I have some new channels coming up for the help section. That's not the one that Sage just got passed, which we'll go about that in a minute.
Damn.
And then we have a lot of moderators too. So now that we make it easier to moderate our chats and all that good stuff. Okay. What's the next topic?
It's supposed to be community questions, but let's move that to the end. The art competition. This is gonna be a short one. So, we had a lot of entries. None of them won. The old logo won.
That was definitely the most funniest
Yeah.
outcome of any event whatsoever.
I personally think my entry should have won totally. It's a very bad one. But yeah.
It's the Pawn apple.
Pineapple.
Oh,
not
yeah,
that
pineapple.
one, but
Pineapple would be a great one. And yeah.
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 Okay.
So,
There's not that much to talk about the art competition because no one really won.
yeah.
But moving on to the next topic, let's talk about Sage and his brand new channel ideas that are coming. If you didn't know that he just got passed, and some of the ones he just introduced today, Sage. So the floor is yours. Go ahead and speak about those channels.
Well, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
I waited a while. I was getting really impatient because I was waiting on Jimmy to come off a break. I'm like, I sent these, and it's been like 4 days, and I haven't heard anything. Just insert crying emoji. But yeah, I'm really excited, as I've said, throughout the entire campaign, but now I'm just waiting on Astro to implement these help channels.
Which I'm gonna do later tonight or tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So he asked me to send him emojis for the channels to go on the sides, and I spent like 30 minutes just going through all the emojis trying to pick the right ones. And then when I would choose one, my keyboard would reset, so I'd have to scroll through it all again. I was
Oh my
getting
God.
so mad at that.
Which
But-
spoiler alert, I'm gonna jump in and interrupt you. But
That's fine.
if they didn't respond to you for one more day, I was just gonna automatically pass your policy. But continue.
That's awesome. Anyway, It's health channels, ways to sleep, calm yourself down, food, what effect food has on you, eating certain foods, which
Ew.
foods are more healthier than other foods, and what it does to your organs on the inside. I'm excited about that because this past year I've really learned a lot about that because my mother has been struggling with that, and she still is. She's been struggling with that for years now, and we're just starting to get to the root problems. Anyway, full workouts. I've got a bunch of YouTube videos, and this specific YouTube channel that I watch, they're called, don't judge the name, but it's called Buff Dudes. And they have full workouts. They have workouts with weights, body weight workouts at home, bands, whatever. I can search it and they have it. So that'll be a good thing. And then internal health, which would be your organ health, which I just went over. Exercises that I do at the gym and at home. Weight loss, so ways to lose weight, easier ways, harder ways. It really depends on whether you want to lose fat, muscle, you want to lose water weight, because what tends to happen is when people start working out, they'll drop like 15 pounds and they think they're dropping fat, but they're actually dropping water weight. So that's going to be fun for me to go over. And then muscle gain, that's probably going to be the hardest one for a lot of people because a lot of people don't have access to a gym like I do, but you can gain muscle by doing exercises at home. And that's the channels that I have right now. That's all that I could think of because I fly by the seat of my pants. I fly by the seat of my pants, I really do. And what comes to me in the moment, I'll tell Astro and he'll be amazing and he'll add the channel and I'll start in that too. The policies that I brought up today, towards the end of my campaign, I found out that the happy birthday roll, isn't only available to workers. And I'm like, what? Why? So that's going to be available for everyone because everybody's birthday matters.
Yeah.
Birthday lives matter.
Yes, sir. And then I'm going to be making a links channel that will probably go under, let me scroll up. It'll probably go under general. That way it's easy to just scroll down and access if somebody wants to see a link. Now, I know links are scary, but you don't have to click it if you don't want to. So, yeah, that's everything that I've proposed so far. Let me scroll to where I wrote down my other ideas. If y'all want to hear them, should I go ahead on that?
You can name some, I suppose.
I can name some. Okay.
Some. I don't know how many ideas you have.
My personal favorite would have to be, let me find it, Gamer of the Month, because I'm not a gamer myself, but I know a lot of people in Pon are gamers, and that's going to bring some attention. And instead of having a game night, it can be a competition.
Ew.
And we can turn it into a competition, but you'll find out more about that later on down the road. But that's just one.
Fun.
That's just one. I've got a few others, but that would take up a while. So I'm not going to dive into those.
Well, those ideas you have sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially those like channels, like one for sleeping or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably be really helpful for me.
Well, a lot of members, because a lot of our people don't sleep. I know we're in the topic of ideas, but I want to bring up this question from the community, and I know we're not taking questions, but this is important. Will there be any moderators checking the links to see if they're bad?
More than likely, yeah. But even if, usually for like links, if it's got a link to certain websites that aren't good, I'm not going to name them because they're not good, but we can delete those. But if it's links to like YouTube and maybe an article Or like Puffer, he sent me a song and the link was to YouTube. I still haven't listened to it yet, though. I'm gonna listen to it after this.
Oh my god, I haven't listened to a lot of the stuff you sent me, Sage. Holy shit.
And then, but it's just simple things like that, like simple songs that people want to share, but they can't because right now we don't allow links.
Yeah.
So I want to open up that avenue for people to share songs or things that might be beneficial to other people, especially if it's a conversation going on in general, but they can't send a link to that person so that they can learn more about it because that's loophole. So that'll open up an avenue, and it'll be a good avenue.
True. Any other big topic ideas that you might want to mention while you're ahead?
Not that I can think of right now.
All right.
Okay.
And
Next topic. Loving yourself.
Loving yourself. This is important, and I'm glad that you brought this up because a lot of people don't take time to love themselves. You know, a lot of people, which are great friends or just great people, spend their time loving, helping, giving their appreciation to other people. But you gotta take a step back from time to time and just love yourself for who you are. Because while you can be making others happy, the most important thing at the end of the day is if you are happy. I mean, because, you know, what would be the point of giving so much wisdom, advice, etc., or trying to help others be happy if you yourself wouldn't, you know, follow the same stuff? So, and I don't think you should put too much things on yourself to anyone who's listening, because if you tend to help more than you yourself are willing to take in, then it's going to create a very unfair balance for you. And so it's very important that you both look after your mental health and love yourself and appreciate you for how far you've made it so far in your life and how far you will make it if you keep pushing and thriving. Because, I mean, it's all about you, baby. Because I mean, it's your life. And you're a great, a lot of people are great people, and I can say that very confidently because I know a lot of the people here and I know a lot of the people in Pon. So, I mean, it's very important that at the end of the day, you yourself are happy. So, you know, never be afraid to take a day off, take a step back, take some time for yourself to make sure you're happy, to make sure you're enjoying where you are and things, enjoying what you're doing, or, you know, are okay with where your future is currently headed, etc. So I just think that's very important. I think that needs to be said.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've found myself having to do that too, like for helping, since I'm also a helper. At one point I was helping like 4 different people at one time and calling and talking to people and DMing people who needed me, and this for a while now I've had to slow down on helping and let other people take the reins with helping. Now that doesn't mean that I've stopped helping completely. I still help people if they need it. But it really started to drain me mentally, so loving yourself is so important. Always remember to take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly what he said.
I would say something on this, but I'm not the best at doing stuff like that. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
So what's our next topic?
Let me check. Oh yeah, Good Noodles. So if you may have known, it opened back up. You can become a Good Noodle. There's now Good Noodle Artist. So if you want like get a profile picture or something drawn for you, you can like DM a Pon Artist and like get a cool drawing, which I think is really cool. Is there any? Oh yeah, now you can get custom roles with Good Noodle points. Like, Good Noodle is like really gamer.
Yeah. Oh, and to any artists out there, you can make Good Noodle points now on commission.
Yeah.
So vice versa, basically, of the first thing. And I think that's it for Good Noodle so far because
Yeah.
Yeah. And the application or Gnoodle initiation form is back open. So if you want to be a Gnoodle, it's open. But
Yeah.
what's the next topic?
The winner of the quarantine event. We got 2 winners, Jemmy and Dom. Which I was not expecting them to win, but good job, guys. Like, if you participated, you could have gotten 1,000 Robux and 100 Gale points. And they were kind enough to split it between the contestants that left and stuff. Which, thank you. And I think that's all I can say on that, I guess.
Yeah, that was definitely the most funniest event because you had all these people, working, making it through each stage, and a lot of people who made it to the very end just for Jimmy and them to say, yeah, we would come in and swoop the win at the very end. Which, if I'm being honest, I didn't really expect them to win. I didn't know who was going to win, but I didn't expect it to be Dom and Jimmy because, their plan was really just, they didn't have a plan. I remember because I talked to them ahead of time. But yeah, murder. Their plan was to murder everyone. It was just to murder everyone else. I tried to murder them, but missed both my shots. But we don't talk about that. So what's the next topic?
The next 2 topics you're doing, Pon Rewind and Pon Future Conference.
First, but before we do that, and I brought those up as topics because I forgot to do it in the last one, even though I said I'd get to it later in that podcast, and then I didn't. But I just want to brag about my 2 new Epic help channels coming, which is a request to DM channel, because I know a lot of people like to write our DM helpers rather than the tickets. So you just go there and it's like, hey, anyone able to DM? Helper will come, hi, and then you guys go to DMs, etc. And then there's a community help channel where because I saw someone the other day in the rant channel saying they just wanted advice on a situation. They didn't really want to rant. And I realized how bad it was because I eliminated the receive help channel in favor of the ticket system. And now I realize we need a channel for that. And so that would just be for people who are needing advice. And it wouldn't really be dependent on helpers like most rants and all that. It'd really just be, for the community or helpers to just jump in and help the person. And then obviously Sage's health channels are coming. And spokesperson is going to actually be something you can apply for, because I now realize the flaw in making everything based around the moderator part, especially because spokesperson has nothing to do with moderation. So essentially people who might be interested in spokesperson or board member would have to work through a moderator, which is literally nothing like spokesperson and all that stuff at all. Which could come tomorrow or later this week, we'll see. But on the topic of Pon's Future Conference and Pon Rewind, these are 2 of the biggest projects to come to Pon that are yearly. I'd like to think, because they're the most inclusive events, if anything, because definitely Pon Rewind wraps up the entire year. And then Pon's Future Conference tells us about what we did this year and what we want to do in the future. And while it's always great to, have those good endings for a year or good wrap-ups, don't get your hopes up. I'm not saying that to discourage or put a damper on the mood. However, I would say it's a 30% chance that those will see the light of day this year. Not because they're bad ideas or anything, mind you, it's just with how Pon's currently headed. I just don't see the layout that would push us to do that. And I'm going to go over Pon's Future Conference from 2019 as a reference to why Pon's Future Conference may not be too of a good idea. Our goals for 2020 was to expand to different social media, maybe like Reddit, Steam, Twitch, Rec Room, etc. Those were just the examples. So far, we haven't really expanded anywhere, and we are, nearly 8 months into the year. That's not a great start. That's not where we want to be, and it's okay to have setbacks. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of setbacks for this year.
We're already 8 months into the year?
Well, I mean, it's about to be August, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I know, right? And it feels like just yesterday, 2020 started, and we thought it was going to be the best year of our lives.
I know.
Our next goal was to create a social platform for Pon, our own social media, something, because at this point, I mean, there's not that much interesting stuff on the current ones because they're all filled with their own bullcrap. No progress on that. And then we were gonna have a game developer make a game for Pon. It was It wasn't gonna be tied to Roblox, which, spoiler alert, we ended up going back to Roblox. But that didn't happen. So far we are slightly on track. Sorry, to edge the 1,000 member goal from last year for the Discord server. If we are able to get in enough members over the rest of the year, but it's a very narrow gap and it only gets narrower, so it's a 50-50, I would like to say. Achieve over 5,000 followers for all of Pon's social medias, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Yep, nowhere near there. And currently I can say with confidence that there is no path to that. Not even a slim one for us to get said amount of followers on any of the accounts, sadly. We did create a YouTube channel and we have we have a podcast and that's it. 3 wonderful people. That is only the people who have the role podcast gamer, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. And then definitely the biggest another big fail would be to have real pay for the jobs that we have in Pon, which, spoiler alert, at the time of this this Pon feature conference, we had more jobs than we had, which a lot more jobs will go away soon. Well, I say a lot, it's probably one, but yeah, so I essentially failed to get the foundation in ahead of time for Pon to have the successful 2020 year that we were aiming for. And so I don't think we would be able to have a substantial Pon feature conference for this year without cutting back on our original goals, which would be a little disappointing, or setting ourselves for something that we would not be able to achieve. So while the Pon's feature conference is a nice idea and it's fun to have because I get to talk to the community more about nice little ideas, I don't think we are going to have it, most likely. I'd say it's less likely to happen in Pon Rewind. Pon Rewind might happen, might not. It's a big might, but yeah. And so yeah, those are Pon Rewind and Pon's feature conference. And I want to talk more on
question.
Well, and before we get there, I want to talk about jobs because we have jobs. Hi. Which, spoiler alert, a lot of stuff is back open, suggestions, helper application, moderator application. Yeah. But as we go forward, Pon's moving, at least with how I've seen with the past error I made, where we became too reliant on certain workers, which is always fun to have workers, but if Pon wants to be able to not have as many setbacks as it does, we need to be able to get a good footing to where we are not totally reliant on certain workers. Obviously, we're gonna need workers here and there, but if Pon wants to be able to recover faster, it needs to be able to have its foot in ahead of time, be prepared, and already know how it's gonna deal with a situation in the event it loses certain workers. Just in case any strikes, etc., riots, protests, anything of any kind happens and we lose members or workers. And so my biggest point would be the social media team, and they're wonderful people. I love both of the workers there. However, the work that's happening there could easily be done without said workers. And hear me out. Well, they might get a job offer to move to another department, like how advertisers did. I'd say that's a big maybe. Like, I love and appreciate them, but obviously, if I'm gonna be straightforward, the work they're putting in is not good enough. Comparing it to advertisers, we had amazing advertisers, Dom, Sage, and Kick, and then Kyra. They did a wonderful job. And so it was very easy to say, okay, here, you want to go to another department? It's fine. Just fill out the application and you're going to automatically go there. We just need you on record. However, with the social media team, it's about to, tomorrow, it will have been 10 days since they give us anything. I gave them a reminder 3 days ago to that we need post, and, well, they haven't given it to us. So, it's not that we're like angry at them or like they're bad workers. It's just we are going to move towards a much more viable solution if the workers that we currently have are not able to give us the input we need, so that we can already, because I mean, the biggest problem with Pon is once we lost our manager, a lot of stuff had to slow down immediately. Like it wasn't a choice, because I didn't prep the co-leaders ahead of time as much as I should have, and we just let the manager go at it how they did their stuff, and so we weren't able to act. We didn't really know how they went about training the workers, and so we had to rework that, which we did. And I mean, I'm confident to say that we don't even need a manager right now. We're not gonna need a manager for a while. If we're looking to, say, hey, we're gonna give promotions because we love and appreciate you guys, and we want to give some of you a chance to move up, then sure, we're gonna let a manager come in. But other than that, we don't really need one. It's not like, oh, you guys are bad or none of you are deserving it. Pon's just fine without a manager. Everything's running smoothly, and I think that's a big flex on Pon's behalf, me and Max as the leaders, because we have something like 12 helpers, and we don't even need a manager for it. So I think we're doing pretty good. However, I'd say the helpers department's most likely going to max out maybe 15 or 20 helpers. I don't want to have too many helpers, but at the same time, there's not such thing as too many when it comes to helpers, especially when we want all rants to be responded to. And if there's no manager, Karen can't see them, so we can quickly avoid anyone coming and saying, "Hi, I would like to speak to the manager." But yeah. So I thought that'd be a little interesting thing to mention, if anything. But yeah, community questions. If any of you have any questions, you can start asking.
Yeah. So
I have 5 DMs. I'm so scared.
and amigo.
And amigo, like, shut up, bitch. I'm doing Poncast. I like how fast we're going with this. We covered so many topics, and we are still under the 30-minute mark. This might be a short podcast, and that's good because we covered a lot of topics.
Uh-huh.
And it's so much easier to upload. Thank God. But yeah. Oh, spoiler alert to anyone who knew the Your Father guide, just left the server. Ooh.
Dad left to get milk.
He went to get milk. No.
Does nobody have questions, or are you guys typing?
I think I see someone typing, so.
I think Mayo has.
Yeah, call me Mayo. Oh my God, because apparently he sounds like Call Me Carson. Spoiler alert, Mayo sounds like Mayo.
Like someone can tell why people think he sounds like him, but...
No. See, what we're not going to have on this podcast is y'all's crazy conspiracy theories. No, thank you. We're not Joe Rogan.
Well, Dom's typing now.
Get that crazy crap out of here.
No. Okay. We're probably just gonna okay.
And
Mayo,
while we're waiting for
like
that type, while we're waiting for Mayo, may I already go ahead and just put out there that we've already had someone come to us and declare that they will be a candidate in the September election for head administrator. Pretty crazy, because we're ahead.
Nice.
Get the hell out of here with that shit. Huh?
I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's Dino, our famous bot.
Dino for head admin. I just agree. Or keeping manager closed.
Yeah, I understand that, Mel. However, if we just put managers up, then it's not gonna go well. Because and that's essentially why you'll always have a lot of situations where it looks like co-leaders don't do much. Spoiler alert, they do. They just do a lot of behind-the-scenes work because that's what they do. A lot of stuff. But I'm sorry, I'm bot racist. We can't have no. Oh wow. I know it comes off as us restricting people, and I know people would be disappointed. But if we don't have a reason to put a manager forward, we're not gonna put a manager forward. That's the exact reason advertisers never actually got a manager. They almost did, but they never.
There was no need for one.
Yeah, there's like no need for one. Like it was a small department. However, with helpers obviously
did a shit ton of work.
But a shit ton of work. Yeah, but they didn't really need a manager. Let's be honest. Advertisers were cool as they were. We didn't have to put someone over them. They knew what to do and they knew how to get this shit done. That's what I loved about them. We never really had to put someone over them. They knew what they were doing, so it was fine. But with helpers, obviously, I could see where there's a lot of people. But I mean, that's why you have stuff like professional helper. And when it comes to stuff like moderator, you have administrator and all that. So there's definitely going to be expansion opportunities to move up forward. However, manager is not one of those that have to be open for someone to move up, because especially for helpers, they can go up to professional helper. That would be their next move. And if we are going to go with the right way that we were already supposed to go to when the system was created a while back, helpers have to go to professional helper if they want to be a manager. And then obviously professional helper requires them to be more attentive and responsive to rents faster and tickets and etc. But yeah,
That makes sense.
I have a question myself.
hi.
So, how would one get like the employee of the month? Like, what would you?
That
have
is
to do?
decided among the leaders, which is currently me, Max, and Pastel.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, any other
Um,
questions?
Yeah, because towards the end of the month we start throwing our names in, and like trust me, there's been a lot of conflict between us where I kind of argue with them because we're throwing in different names, saying different reasons why this different person should be the employee of the month, and it's like, okay, wait, no, I'm right, and then we're all going at it. Well, not respectfully, we're going at it. But yeah,
Sounds
so
fun.
it is actually fun because there's no actual argument. We're just bragging about how great our workers are.
I have to see if you helpers do not.
Helpers do their job from time to time. Yeah, of course, there's people who don't do their job a lot. You have to keep in mind this is a Discord server. No one is required to just be here every day or the majority of a week. They have their own life, and we respect that. So yeah, obviously there's certain helpers that me and Max are already tracking to have a talk with because we know that certain helpers are not there on certain situations. So yeah, we know. But there's also not a reason to give someone the boot just because they have their own life. A lot of these people are really great helpers, and when they're there, they do a hell of a job. So, at the end of the day, which we're going to become less and less strict as we move forward with Pon on how much we expect from workers, which is a good and bad thing. You can argue either way. However, when it comes to helpers, the most important thing that really matters is just that we have someone there for when someone needs them. So... And yeah, I know who you're talking about, and you have to take into consideration they have their own life. And I'm pretty sure I know exactly who you're talking about, and they were going through something. They just forgot to tell us. So, sure, people can have their slow modes, and some people can, take like up to a week or two, but that's because they have their own life and they have their own situations. And I think the biggest mistake of our past was being so quick to jump to conclusions, where if someone didn't respond to something so instantly, we'd be like, hey, you clearly have something going on, we're gonna let you go. No, we need to be more open to the mindset that, hey, maybe something's going on and affecting them. Let's reach out to them. Let's figure out. And if something's wrong, we can work to fix it. Because a lot of these people are good people. A lot of these helpers are good helpers. And when it comes to Pon, people come for help. They don't come and say, oh, well, some of these helpers aren't really doing anything, so clearly this server isn't working. They just come for help because they need someone to pick them up. And whether that's someone who's always doing their job or not, all that matters really is if someone is there for them. Oh no, we do mention about that, but people often forget. We're human beings. People can forget to mention things like that. And that's fine. And that's not a punishable offense. If we're going to get onto our workers for forgetting to tell us ahead of time, then who are we supposed to be as a community that's supposed to say, hey, you can come work with us. We're going to help, generate this new community that's going to be here for everyone, etc. But yeah, no, we mention it and stuff to tell us ahead of time, but people forget. It's a common thing. We're all human beings and we all forget about stuff, even if it's important. But at the end of the day, as long as they're there and willing to make a change or willing to be there for another person, I think that's what matters when it comes to helpers.
Very true.
Any other questions?
Any other
There-
questions?
If there are no more
Members?
questions, might as well end it, I guess.
We can move towards the end. Oh, only 35
Yeah.
minutes so far. Not that bad.
Oh dang, that's short.
We should
Last one was like
we
10.
should be setting records for how fast we can go and then how slow we can go.
Like currently this is probably gonna be the fastest one. Then we're gonna have the first one has the longest one.
I've been told by someone that, because I was talking to someone about some of my past with my like YouTube channel, and they said you should talk about that on a podcast. That'd be interesting because it shows how you improve. I was like, I don't know. So that might be something we talk about, just floating that out there.
Cool.
I'm just happy that the Braves are winning right now. I'm just happy that the Braves are winning right now.
Okay.
Well,
okay. I don't.
I know.
Yeah. And then, spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about a certain someone later on for an entire podcast. But yeah. Any other questions before we close
I
out?
have a question.
Okay.
Who-
Dog Sniffer may have one.
Who are we going to talk about?
Oh.
Yeah, a certain person. Yeah. I want to make sure no one else has any questions before I say said name. So come on. Don't be shy if any of you have questions. Come on. Come on.
A certain host.
A certain hoops to wait. I'm waiting. Slow mode is difficult. What the hell is the slow mode? I'll get 12 for it. Oh damn, it's 10 seconds. Let me turn it off. Last time we got a lot more people, so sorry. Ugh. So I was like trying to slow it down so we didn't miss anything. But
I just have a battery under my pillow. What a gamer moment. I can't think of.
yes.
Oh wait, what's
While we're waiting for the question, let me just jump in and say, if you are 18 or older and you can't vote, you should vote. I'm not saying you have to vote for president. I don't care who you vote for there, but you should definitely vote for, you know, down the ballot on other important information stuff like senator, congressman, mayor, governor, all that stuff.
Cool.
Yes. Board member would be above spokesperson, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Spokesperson, board members, mod, admin.
Yeah. Because how? Yeah. So there's the side with moderator, administrator, head moderator, head admin aide, head administrator. Then there's spokesperson, board member, chairman. So yeah. And then after that, for either chairman or head administrator, your next move would be supervisor. However, I don't really see us getting a supervisor anytime soon because, let's be honest, Max did the most as supervisor, but now he's a leader and he still does kind of the same stuff. And I don't really know what the hell a supervisor does. At that point, it's just a co-leader in training, let's be honest.
Cool.
Nice.
Supervises. Okay, Dom. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You got it there.
Well,
I just want to make sure no one else has any questions. Because I see someone typing and I don't want to not get their question in before. And now I see two people typing, but I don't want to not hit them, bro.
say name. Dog Sniffer.
Dog sniffer. Okay, dog sniffer.
I wish it didn't
So
take so
long to get
long
ranked
to get
up.
ranked up.
Do you mean ranked up? You mean moving up like from mod to admin, all that? Yeah, I understand. However, trust me, it's best for Pon if we take our time. Trust me. With our past of moving quickly on stuff, it's best if we take our time. And it's not meant to. It's not. I know it can come off as a little discouraging or off-putting when it takes a while, but I mean, it's really just to make sure that people are passionate or good at their job. That's kind of why it's good for us that we moved admin off the table of something you can just apply for. Because if you look at our past admins, we hired someone day one after they joined the server. Not our greatest choice. They were one of they were not one of our greatest admins. I liked them. They were a wonderful person. They were nice. I enjoyed spending time with them. However, they when it came to admin, they weren't like one of the best suit for the position. Yeah, I know that it can ruin potential others, but the point of the whole taking our time is some moderators don't end up being who we'd want for an admin. So if we had a slower process, you know, clearly someone could be like, oh, they did good in that first week because they knew that it was a shorter time period, and then they could go to admin. But if they have to go over a full month before they get considered for admin, then that lets them know that, hey, you're just gonna have to be yourself, and we get to see who they are on different scenarios and different situations. Which obviously for you, I understand how much more off-putting for you it could be, because you've been an admin before, so it's kind of a kick in the nuts, if anything, to have to go through moderator for an entire month. Pretty sure we can probably work out a deal. I'll talk with certain people later. However, when it comes to newer people who haven't worked with us before, it's incredibly important that they work the full month, because a lot of people can seem good at first, but then not be a good apple. They could be a bad apple. And I think that's a very important. But yeah, any other questions before I name call the person we're going to talk about?
I don't think so. No one's typing.
I'll give you guys 2 minutes to ask your final questions.
Okay.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate Mail for honestly asking the questions every single time?
Yeah.
Like, no one else.
Good job, Mail.
Which is pretty funny, seeing as I'm pretty sure Dom wants to do it when it comes to the head admin debates, but not Poncast, I guess. Interesting. Huh. Interesting, Dom. Huh. Get it? Because I swear to God, Dom used to ask so many questions. I swear to God. Yeah, that was painful.
Dom?
Yeah, Dom was always the one to ask so many questions. Wait, spoiler alert. Head admin, no, not head admin. Debate moderator may be something that's more reachable for community members. If you've ever watched these past head admin debates or wanted to be with someone who gets to speak directly to the candidate so that you're not having to DM your question, but you wanted to say it to them directly, with obviously people watching, you might be able to get a debate moderator if the head admin system exists by then. But, yeah, so, because yeah. It's fine, nobody. Don't forget, this is uploaded to YouTube, so you can always rewatch it. And it's not even that long this time. But, one more minute for your final questions. One more minute.
Oh God, one of my friends just said it. One of my friends just said, wait, there's only one female Smurf, and the rest are males, and Papa Smurf implies a family tree. Oh no.
Okay.
My friends are weird. But
oh, that minute's about to be up once it turns 9 for me, and 10 for Sage,
Yes, sir.
9 for me.
and like 8 for Dom, and 10 for Neil, and 7 for
Numbers.
Dog Sniffer.
Usher calling.
Okay, yeah, 7 for Zio as well. Okay, so it is now 9 p.m. and we're moving to the closure of said podcast.
Yeah.
It's
Just a
10
spoiler-
p.m.
Okay. Just a spoiler alert. Sage didn't ask me to say who it was before the time was up, so I don't have to say legally. Haha.
I
Nay, nay.
asked you before.
But it didn't count. Ha! Got him. But no, I'm just kidding. I'll say it in a minute. So just want to, give Sage and Puffer their chance to say bye to the podcast before we end the recording. Or whenever.
Bye, gamer.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Haters?
coming. Thank you, Sage, for
Spoiler
also
alert, it's
just.
Susan. But yeah, thank you for watching. If
Very
you're watching
nice.
on the channel, thank you for the people who attended. Very epic gamer. And yeah, so first of all, bye
Uh-huh.
YouTube.